A major development has emerged in the ongoing discussion surrounding the Society of St. Pius X. The SSPX has officially filed a canonical appeal challenging the Vatican's decree concerning the episcopal consecrations that took place earlier this month. But does this mean the decree has already been overturned? According to Canon lawyer Father Gerald Murray, the answer is no. In comments made during the July 17, 2026 episode of The World Over, Father Murray explained exactly what this legal step means and what it does not mean. The controversy began after the SSPX consecrated 4 new bishops without a papal mandate. Following those consecrations, the Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith issued a decree declaring that the 4 newly consecrated bishops, along with the 2 bishops who consecrated them, had incurred excommunication because of what the Vatican described as a schismatic act. According to Father Murray, that decree took immediate effect when it was issued. However, the SSPX has now made use of a provision contained within canon law. They have submitted what is known as a preliminary recourse. In simple terms, this is a formal request asking the Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith to reconsider and withdraw its decree. Father Murray emphasized that this procedure does not automatically overturn the decree, nor does it mean that the Vatican has admitted any error. Instead, it is simply the first step in an administrative process. The Dicastery now has 30 days to respond. According to Father Murray, 2 outcomes are possible. The first would be for the Dicastery to withdraw the decree entirely. However, he said he considers that possibility unlikely. The second option would be for the Dicastery to accept the recourse and begin a more extensive administrative review of the case. This review process exists within canon law and provides a mechanism for challenging certain decrees or penalties. Father Murray noted that such procedures are a normal part of the Church's legal system. At the same time, he highlighted what he considers a significant irony. In his view, the SSPX rejected canon law when it proceeded with episcopal consecrations despite the Pope's opposition and despite the requirement for a papal mandate. Now, however, the Society is turning to that same canon law to seek relief from the resulting penalties. Father Murray observed that those who previously acted contrary to a canonical requirement are now asking church authorities to apply canonical procedures in their favor. He described this as a noteworthy contradiction. He also questioned what might happen if the Vatican ultimately refuses to withdraw the decree. In his opinion, the Society would likely continue its activities regardless of the outcome. For that reason, he stressed that the current appeal should not be interpreted as proof that the decree has disappeared or been annulled. The decree still exists. What has changed is that its effects are suspended while the recourse is being examined. That suspension, he explained, is not the same thing as cancellation. Looking beyond the legal arguments, Father Murray offered what he considers the best path forward. Rather than pursuing a lengthy legal challenge, he suggested that the Society seek direct reconciliation with Rome. He proposed a process involving acknowledgement of wrongdoing, a request for forgiveness, and renewed submission to the authority of the Pope and the Church. At the same time, it is important to note that Father Murray has also recognized that SSPX priests and faithful are not themselves excommunicated, and that confessions and marriages celebrated under the permissions granted by the Holy See remain valid. For now, all eyes turn to Rome. The next step will depend on how the Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith responds to the SSPX recourse in the coming weeks. Until then, the canonical process continues, and the broader discussion surrounding the Society remains very much alive.